Sorry. Like, right up in the camera face today. You can see the sunshine. It's supposed to thunderstorm later today. And it was raining this morning, but it kind of quit when we went for the walks. We did get the walk in, but right now with the sun out, it's kind of hard to believe in thunderstorms. So we're just going to have to see. What I said this morning was because I was watching the weather. I was like, well, today could be a nothing burger. We need the rain. I need it to knock all the pollen out of the air because, oh my God, the pollen is driving me crazy. All right. Spring has sprung here. Yeah, the groundhog may have predicted 6 more weeks of winter, but you can't tell it here. All right, we are doing a new design for living. Let's do the housekeeping. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. Constant contact. Email info@creativelife.org. That gives you 1 email a week, tells you what's going on for the week and the month, and the hot links are hot. Hang on. Click here now means it. That's what it was. And it's also a blind CC. So it means that nobody's going to see your email. You won't end up on anybody else's email list because of us. So hopefully you think it's worth it. And I only mentioned the social media from the standpoint of we don't monetize it. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do is go like, subscribe, follow, based on which platform you're on, because we're on most of them. And then engage with the individual post by reacting to the post, commenting on the post, sharing the posts. It bumps us in the algorithms, more people see our stuff. And let's be honest, the whole point of social media, right? And we are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark based on which platform you are on. All right. Sorry, they were very dry, and when they're dry, they're distracting. So I keep a chopstick in here for that very reason. All right. We've got kind of a short one today, but the next one is kind of long, so I'm like, I don't want to do 2. Yeah, we're just going to do kind of it's 1 page. Not even quite 1 page. But in a new design for living, this is the process of science of mind. Whoa, there were words and now they're gone. It's one of the last books that Ernest put out. So it's about the process of science of mind. Science of mind is not a religion. And the reason that I say that is because we don't teach you what to believe. We don't tell you what to believe. We teach you how and why belief is important. So that is why I say we are not a religion. We're more of a philosophy, said the minister standing here. Or, well, I'm not standing, I'm sitting, but you know what I mean. Okay, so we are currently in chapter 12, which is a look to the future, which is kind of ironic coming from right on the heels of the chapter of You Live Today. But not really, because here's where apparently we're going to talk about the immortality. And I think maybe this is where that work, because the book that I just did, which was a collection of Ernest Holmes writings, I'd not seen the immortal stuff. And I'm like wondering, okay, is this where they got it from? So the title of the article is literally, What is Immortal? Okay. This does not mean that the body is immortal, or that any physical expression of infinite intelligence is immortal, but rather that what caused the expression is immortal. The divine source, the idea, the pattern is the immortal element. An idea in the mind of God, spirit, mind, intelligence, could not be other than immortal. The changeless is always giving birth to that which changes. We previously encountered the idea that our consciousness could not be other than the mind of God in an individualized expression. Would it not be logical to assume that this is the immortal part of us? Okay. In fact, could we possibly be other than immortal since we are part of the eternal? And to follow this line of thinking one step further, we have come to realize that it is the nature of mind and intelligence, always to be creative, always to seek expression. So is it unreasonable to assume that there will always be some sort of medium through which our mind must be able to create and express? How or where and how, we do not know. But that there must be a where and a how seems to be inescapable in a universe in which at its core is a spiritual reality. All right. The talk about immortality always gets a little weird. One of the things that I had heard said is that we are individualized centers of spirit. Okay. That is the part of us that is immortal. Anything that is physical doesn't last. It by nature can't, simply because electrons won't sit still. I mean, it's far more complicated than that, but I'm going to pull my bookmark up because I was thinking, oh wait, where's the teaching symbol? So this is our teaching symbol. And it's limited because everything is encompassed by the circle, but there really isn't a circle. There is no circle. But what is important is you see the middle layer between the two lines. Okay. So this is infinite reality. This is the law. And then this is physical reality. Okay. And then what you notice is you see the V. So it's coming down from the infinite reality, the unseen, through the law into the seen. But then immediately it's going back up, right? But you see the little thumb sticking out? It means the process is going to be repeated. We don't know where. We don't know how. And if you talk to Ernest, and one of the funniest conversations that I ever did have, when I was in ministerial school. Now, I was in ministerial school from 13 to 17. So a couple of my kids who are now in their 20s were, in their early teens. And so one day I took the what we believe, the 10 what we believe, the core principles into my class, my Sunday school class, and said, hey, tell me what you think this means. And I would read it to them. And I tried to put it in more modern language, which is actually harder than you think. And then they would tell me what they thought. They would give me examples. And it was fabulous. And when I took that paper, because I was writing a paper, back to class, everybody's jaw hit the floor. Nobody had ever thought to talk to the teenagers about, our core principles. And they were like, wow, that was a really good idea. Yeah. But we hit the one about immortality. And, one of the kids said, oh, you mean like reincarnation? And I said, well, actually, Ernest doesn't believe in reincarnation. And this child looked me dead in the eye and said, well, Ernest is wrong. Okay, you know what? So, but you just heard, he does believe in the immortality of the soul. He does believe that we do continue on. As he said, the where and the how, we don't know. And that's what I was talking about yesterday. We don't know what comes next. There's no concrete proof about what comes next. But we do believe there is a next. We believe that there is a way for us to continue to express and create, because that is the nature of the divine. Okay? The physical reality is what we're talking about. That's what we have to be willing to let go of. With the full knowledge that there is something next. It's one of the reasons why Ernest does talk. Well, Ernest doesn't believe in reincarnation because he doesn't believe we come back here. And I get it. I think the one time he gave that full answer was shortly after his wife had died. And he loved his wife. Loved his wife. Why would he want to come back here without her? So I get why he said what he said. And if you choose to come back here, that's probably your choice. He didn't want to. He said, we're going to spiral up. There are other planes of existence. There will be other places for us to create and exist. He firmly believed that. That is what we are talking about in this chapter. Look to the future. We're not talking about tomorrow. We're talking about the fact that we will have the opportunity to forever be creative, even if we don't know how. And sometimes, I think there's I think it's a Martin Luther King Jr. quote about courage, being willing to take the first step when you can't see the whole staircase. Okay, that's what life is. That is what life is. Maybe we can see one or two steps. We can't see the whole staircase. We got to have the courage to take the step and keep taking the steps. And eventually we'll get there. So that's what he's talking about today. So what is immortal? Not this. Not this. But yet what runs this is. And I'm okay with that. Talk to me in 20 years. I mean, I'm 50 now, so I'm a little bit more than that, but we won't talk about that. Yeah. So, and I did say I did come out of the psychic community, so, you know, I may have a little experience dancing on the other side. So, and that does make it a little easier. So, I don't know. But that's why I wanted to share that teaching symbol with just the reminder, once we hit this point. But that little thing, that's the hope. That's the hope. That means that there's going to be another creative expression past that point. So, all right, I'm going to wrap this up, get on into the process of my day. Seriously, thunderstorms. I don't know. But I am going to encourage you to have a great day, wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a take care of yourself day, a take care of business day, a you got this day, a don't let anybody tell you what it is day. Okay? Make up your own mind day. A color your fur babies day, a dance in the rain day, if you get any, a stay out of the thunderstorms day, if you get any, a enjoy the weather day, whatever it brings day, a make sure you make time to sit down and rest day, a you got this day, a good day, and if that is too much pressure, because occasionally it is, I get it, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, an absolutely beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time. At your own pace. And, as Reverend Jesse likes to call it, you are a godly. So, explore the truth of your being, get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. How do I know this? It's all the divine knows. All right. So, anything from there, anything is possible. Okay. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. Well, okay. Anytime between 4 and 11. But 5 p.m. I'll be back with you between 9 and 9:15. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved.